Hi everyone, I'm Francesca Schuler. I'm part of the California Fitness Alliance, and welcome to our first edition of the Faces of California Fitness. The advisory board of the California Fitness Alliance realized that one of the things that people don't realize is how many amazing stories there are about fitness operators, fitness professionals, people who started their career in personal training, in group fitness, who work for studios. So we thought it would be fun to start introducing all of our CFA members to each other. So I'm really excited to be sitting here today with Razi and Deanna Hasni, who founded Joya Yoga. Razi is a fellow board member, but I think their story is so inspiring and so representative of what makes this industry amazing. So really excited to host them here today. Welcome. And we're going to get started by asking a few questions. So hope you guys tune in and enjoy this. Well, welcome, Razi and Deanna. It's so great to have you here. I'm super excited to hear the story of Joya Yoga. So why don't we start there? Tell us your story. How did you get into this? I think, Deanna, it was your vision. So let's start with you.
Yeah, so I started yoga in 2007. It was about a couple months right after our daughter was born. And it was like a very tumultuous time in our lives. And my brother had just passed away, and then I gave birth to my daughter. We had just lost our real estate business, so there was a lot going on. I was not in the best mental state, and so a friend of mine recommended yoga. So I did my first hot yoga class, and something clicked. There was a sparkle. An internal flame was just, I always say, was kind of lit. And I kept going after that almost every day for a full month. I did yoga and I was just really hooked. I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. My mental state got better, and you know, when our mental state is healthy, when we're mentally fit, then the physical comes after, right? So for me, it was like, you know, mentally I got in a very better place. And I saw what it did for me in my life. And so I made it my goal, and I told Razi, I said, eventually I would love to open a yoga studio because I saw how much it helped me, and I want to be able to help others. So it started with yoga, and then obviously we are where we are today and expanded to a lot more.
Fantastic.
No, it wasn't eventually. We're going to open a yoga studio.
Well, that's entrepreneurial passion. That's how it works, right? Where did the name come from?
So the name was kind of, you know, our first yoga studio was a Bikram Yoga here in Livermore. So the name was kind of a fruition between an effort between our community here in Livermore and Dublin at the time, as well as ourselves, and coming up with ideas. We put it out there to our community. We said, hey, what do you guys think? What would you like our studio to represent? And given these certain criteria that we laid forth, and everybody came up with a few names. We discussed them, and then we kind of talked about it a little bit more. Deanna and I were driving one day, and we thought about what does the studio space in Livermore and Dublin represent to us? How does it feel for us? And for us, it represented joy. It represented happiness. We came to the studio, we felt happiness to be connected with our community, happiness to be doing something great for a great cause for our members, and that's where joy came from. So we played around with the name Joy. We couldn't quite call it Joy because that, you know, didn't quite fit the criteria. So we added an A at the end, Joya. Interestingly enough, Joya has many meanings across different languages and different cultures. We didn't know at the time. So Joya obviously in Spanish means jewel. That wasn't the intent, but it's kind of cool. Joya also in Farsi also means traveler, wanderer, somebody who's looking for a greater...
Who's seeking something.
Who's seeking truth. So it kind of fit the mold, and it landed in our lap, and then we couldn't have been happier with the name. So we love Joya, and we love the way it rolls off of people's tongues. And we dream, part of the, you know, it was her dream to open a yoga studio. It's my dream to build a corporation that's going to change, or a business that's going to change the world. I know that's what entrepreneurs do. So our idea is to take this model and apply it across different cities, different communities, different cultures, not just here in California, across the United States, and, you know, hopefully across the world. So
I love that. That's great. You know, the feeling of fitness, and Deanna, you talked about this too, is there's definitely a lot of misperceptions about yoga, about exercise, about fitness. Mm-hmm. What has been some of the ones that you found that people, you share what you do and you're like, no, let me set the record straight, that you found in this journey as entrepreneurs?
So yeah, fitness, for a lot of people, they think it's coming and looking a certain way, being a certain size, and your muscle tone. Obviously that's all part of fitness. But for me, really, and that's why I was really attracted to yoga, because I think it starts with the mental state. When we're mentally healthy, when we're mentally fit, at least for me, and I've working over the years realized that it's, for a lot of people, this is also true. When we're mentally fit and mentally healthy, then the physical health and wellness comes with it. But for me, that's why yoga is so important, because if we're not mentally healthy, then we're constantly struggling. Do I go to the gym? You push yourself. Where I think when we're a little bit more mentally stable, mentally healthy, and we all go our ups and downs. Mental health that's a whole other topic. But I think it starts with that. And so for a lot of people, realizing that it's not just the physical part that's really important in physical fitness and then going into the gym, but incorporating all of that in a total wellness.
I think a lot of people also have the misconception, and the classic term that I always also heard from everybody coming into the door is like, I'm not flexible enough to do yoga. Yoga is for the inflexible. So you don't have to be flexible to do yoga. It's almost saying like, well, I'm not strong enough to go to a gym and work out. The gym is for you to get healthy and get well. So for us, it doesn't matter, and it's written in our mission statement at Joya, it doesn't matter what shape, what size, what color, what creed, where you come from, what you've done, whether you're 500 pounds, whether you're 150 pounds, whether you're cut, everybody here is treated equally. You have an opportunity to come in. You could be practicing. I mean, our rooms are full of life from all different walks of life. So it really doesn't matter how fit you are, how strong you are, how big, how small. Come on in, get your workout in, and it's something that you're going to make, obviously change from mental health to physical health to everything else. So absolutely.
One of the things, and we all know this being in the industry, that the coaches and the instructors are such a pivotal part of the community, and you guys have created such an extraordinary community here. What's one of your favorite stories about how you found an instructor, for example? Because I know you guys spent a lot of time making sure you have the right team. So tell me one of the stories about
this one's a good one. I'll let you have it.
One of our instructors, Jesse, who was on the Coast Guard, or still is in the Coast Guard, we're at a fair. And it was a car show, actually. We did all these car shows and many different events to promote the business. And he came and he found me, and I was in a booth at that time. We were just getting started. And he was asking questions about yoga and whatnot. And at that time, we were just starting the cycle portion, and it wasn't even built out yet. He's like, well, I'm really interested in cycle. So I told him, hold off. We haven't announced it yet, but a cycle studio is coming very soon. So fast forward, a couple months down the line, he joined the studio. He joined the studio as a volunteer, and then he became our front desk. And then later on, we found out that he was at the car show because he smelled barbecue. And he was trying to find the barbecue place that was next to us, and he ran into us. So that was the story. But Jesse became a big part of our community, especially of our cycle program that we had just started. We found out that he was teaching cycle on the Coast Guard, on the boat, or on the ship. And so he was very interested in the cycle program, and a couple months down the line after we opened and started the cycle program, he became our cycle lead, and he really took the cycle program to where it is today. So he played a very big part with us here at Joya and Joya Cycle.
So 2 lessons. Fire up the barbecue. The second is people build careers here. I think that's what a lot of people don't realize about fitness is so many people start just as a member often and all then become leads, program directors, etc., which I love. Let's talk about a little bit about this past year. It's been a tough one for all of us. But I'm not going to belabor all the hard parts. What's the biggest lesson you guys have taken away from this past year and a half?
So I think the biggest lesson for us is to obviously to first of all to know that we're not alone. We're in it together with our community. Second is to be quick on our feet, to be able to be creative with what we do with our programming, with how we broadcast with how we carry our classes. I think one of the quickest things that we learned really quick, and as an entrepreneur, and I'm sure everybody that's watching this can probably relate, you mop floors to handle the front desk, to do Excel spreadsheets, to balance budgets, to write checks, to a breadth of things. With the pandemic, we literally had had to learn overnight how to become video producers, how to direct classes, hire talent, procure equipment, learn about lighting, sound, everything else. And we were able to combine all that and launch our online platform, which is really excited. So for me, being able to adapt really quick on our feet to launch the online platform and carry that was one of the most crucial things. So if I would say anything, is to be creative, is to be, think outside the box, not just inside the box, and be willing and ready and able to do anything and everything it takes to make anything work. As an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. You have to be out there. You have to be out there doing whatever it takes. You can't say no. You can't be disregard. You can't give up. So you have to keep going. And that's what Deanna and I found ourselves in at that point, is that, when we shut down, we looked at it from a perspective of like, well, we can actually retreat and just, huddle up at the house and do what we got to do. But, we decided at that point that we're not going to give up on ourselves. We're not going to give up on our community. We're not going to give up on our staff. And we're going to do everything that we can in our power to basically keep our business going so that our staff can be employed, so we can provide for people. We can, provide fitness solutions for people who desperately need it during the pandemic. And be that beacon of shining light. So it forced us to be creative. It forced us to be more connected to our communities, and to seek out the greater fitness world that's out there. And that's how we became part of the California Fitness Alliance as well, which we're really proud of.
And what's your hope for the future of our industry, or optimism for the future?
That fitness is essential. That fitness is as an essential part of people's daily lives. It's as essential as you getting milk from the grocery store. It's as essential as you waking up in the morning and brushing your teeth. That you need fitness in your life, regardless whether you're doing yoga, whether you're doing a kickboxing class, whether you're lifting weights at In Shape or doing yoga at Joya. You need that you need that fitness so that you can actually, stay healthy, get healthy. One of the most underrated topics that are out there is, obviously, we talked about mental health a little bit, but also the fact that fitness plays a huge role in building a stronger immune system. And that it's not just, you don't have to wait. You should not wait till you get sick and you take medicines to go to a doctor's office or to go to a hospital. We've learned a lot about that over the pandemic, is that, the stronger you are, the more healthy you are, the more stable you are, the stronger your immune system becomes, and the more you're able to fend off any kind of virus, not just COVID, right? So that's the idea. And then, and to continue to make sure that we fight the battle to establish that fitness is as essential as a bottle of milk, eggs, and bread in the morning.
So completely agree. Prevention, not treatment. That's where we all have to go. Mm-hmm. Speaking of prevention, you guys have been married for 17 years. You are co-entrepreneurs, which is really, really challenging. And your parents to, I believe, a teenager or up-and-coming teenager. So what are 2 or 3 tips for other people who may find themselves in the situation so they can sit here and smile and be happily married 17 years later?
Lots of yoga, right?
Travel a lot. No, I think for us is obviously sharing the same passion, and communication is key. Whether it's, while we're in business, talking about business communication, whether we're at home, and just having fun. We love what we do. We truly, truly love Joya, and we have fun. So for us, it's not like, oh my God, I have to wake up, go to work, which kind of how I used to be when I worked in corporate world. But it's like, oh, what do we get to do today? What studios do we get to visit? So for us, it's honestly, we have so much fun doing what we do. So I think that really definitely helps working together and being together almost all the time.
Some joy in what you do.
Absolutely. No pun intended. It is joyful. It is joyful. It's not work. Great. It's not work when you're having fun. So it's
because it's hard. Yeah. It's definitely hard.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a great lesson. I'm sure your daughter's watching you guys closely and learning that. So I thought I'd close out with just a quick speed round so people get to know you guys. Okay. I think it's always fun to hear. So I'm going to start with an easy one. Favorite workout?
For me, my favorite workout is the hot hit classes that we do here. It's challenging. I just love it.
For me, it's hot yoga, believe it or not. So I love hot yoga. I love 26 postures, 2 breathing exercises, 90 minutes. It centers me. It gets me going again and ready for the world.
What's the favorite place you visited or traveled to? I know you both love to travel or would like to go.
My favorite place so far has been Machu Picchu in Peru. Very holistic.
I'm partial. I love Machu Picchu as well, but my dad's from Tunisia, so I always love going back home to Tunisia, visiting and checking out the Roman ruins over there. The beaches are awesome. It's like a lot like Greece, like Italy, and I love visiting back there.
If you had to pick a superpower, what would it be?
Ooh, read people's minds.
That's a good one.
Oh boy, I don't know. I need to put my tin cap on for that one. Do you really want to read people's minds? I would love to fly. I love to fly, so I'd love to be Superman. Yeah.
And so, do you have any books you'd recommend? I don't know if you guys read a lot or how you think of an article, or is there someone that inspires you or you learned something? I mean, last year I think we all, could be a show you watched on Netflix or something that kind of, to your point, Razi, I think we all needed to be creative and adaptable, and it's hard to always be inspired. Is there a recent, something you'd recommend to somebody else who may need some inspiration?
For me, I read a lot of spiritual books, and spirituality is a big part of who I am. So I recommend any of books by Osho. My favorite one that I read during the pandemic, I reread, was Courage. It's a really good one.
Appropriate title.
I'm a big fan. I Think and Grow Rich is one of my favorite books. It's my Bible. I refer back to it every time I need some mental stability and to inspiration. So I try to go back there. That's my favorite. And then I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins. I attend a lot of his seminars, and I network out with some of the staff some of the people that have attended there. So anything Tony Robbins related, I think you can't go wrong with. So that's my opinion.
Well, thanks, you guys. Hopefully everyone who swings through Livermore will come and do yoga. I got to do it today, so I enjoyed it. It was a reminder how important yoga is. And just super grateful that you guys are spreading your joy literally and figuratively through the communities that you serve. They are lucky to have you. And hopefully you guys will inspire other fitness operators and entrepreneurs to tell their story to all of us. So thanks so much. It was great.
Thank you so much for coming down. Thank you, Francesca.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool.
Great.